Hello, dear participants. Thank you so much for joining today's session. We will be waiting 2 more minutes to join other participants, and after that we'll start. Right? Thank you so much.
Your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello, dear participants. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are joining this session from. I'll be starting a session now. Please allow me a minute so I can share my screen and we can start. And meanwhile, please let us know where you're joining this session from. That is something we would love to know. And here we go. I hope you all can see my screen. And again, I would love to give you all a very warm welcome on behalf of GSDC to our learning series, Global Skill Development Council Certified Learning Must Know AI Strategy series, from automation to autonomous intelligence in business, with the theme that is building the roadmap from AI automation to autonomy. My name is Preetham. I'll be here as moderator. Do let me know if you have any concern or any question. Feel free to reach out to me over the chat box, and I'm very happy to assist you all. And this is our incredible panel of speakers lined up for this entire week, which is started from 2nd to 6th February 2026, with the time slot 7:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please do join us for all our remaining sessions as well. And before I could hand over the session to our speaker today, would love to introduce our hosting organization, GSDC. We're known as Global Skill Development Council. We are vendor agnostic, vendor neutral. We're globally recognized certification body, and we are accredited by ABICB. We do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us, and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals worldwide. We have 500 plus subject matter experts with us. They work with us closely to help us with our exam programs and all the deliverables. Also, we are associated with 1,000 plus multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the world. And I would like to introduce a GSDC AI Studio to those who have joined us for the first time. So this is a platform where we are providing 100 plus live session monthly, which is led by global experts, where you'll be getting 4 daily session, which is 45 minutes of live and impactful sessions along with the hands-on learning. Also, you can apply all the concept that you have learned in that particular session immediately. And in case if you get any question, any doubts, that will be resolved instantly with the help of our subject matter expert. So this training is aligned with the industry standards for the job ready skill. So you can grab this opportunity where you'll be getting this thing to learn from the AI leaders around the globe, right? So how you can access to our GSDC studio in easy 3 steps. You can get in touch with our learning advisor for more information. I'll share the contact details shortly in the chat box. So our current certification portfolio, as I mentioned in my previous slide, that we do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us, and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals, right? So our current certification portfolio specifically designed for all the professionals worldwide who are looking to stay industry relevant in this AI era, and who wants to upskill themselves, right? So our current certification, we do have certification in different domain, which is in L&D and HR, generative AI, agentic AI, emerging technologies. I also lead auditor, implementer, project management, PMO, agile, DevOps, SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and so on. So in case if you're looking for any of this certification in order to upskill yourself, feel free to reach out to a learning advisor, or you can check our website www.gsdcouncil.org for more information regarding all the certifications and other offerings that GSDC has for all of you. So what are benefits you will be getting with this certification? You will become GSTC's member for a lifelong. With that, you will be getting certificate upgrade. You will be having access to all our workshop, boot camps, events, and guess what? You will be getting access for all our exclusive learning program we have. Along with that, you'll be getting implementation resources, speaker invites, and newsletter. So many benefits, right? So get in touch with our learning advisor for more information regarding all these benefits, to understand more about these benefits and all the certification programs that we have. And without any further delay, I would love to introduce our today's speaker and the topic. So the topic, they'll be taking us through decision engine propensity prediction in the financial industry based on customer data features. And for that, we have Aparna and Gokul Ram. So I would love to introduce them. Aparna Krishna is a senior analyst at EY and LLP US with 9+ years of experience in software development, AI databases, and digital platforms across IT and financial services. She holds a master degree in computer science, AI, and databases, and has delivered scalable, high availability solution across industry, including banking, e-commerce, transport, and telecommunication. She is an IEEE senior grade member, where Gokulram Krishnan is a manager of AI and data at EY US, specializing in AI driven consulting, data engineering, and enterprises data modernization. He has led global teams delivering analytics solution across financial services, healthcare, automotive, and energy sectors, enabling organization to drive innovation, efficiency, and risk management. He is an also IEE senior grade member. So let's give them a warm welcome, and thank you so much both of you for joining today's session. Handover of the virtual mic, you can have it now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preetham.
Thank you, Preetham. Let me start sharing my screen. It's visible to everyone, right? Hello? Just give, it's
Yes, sir.
visible. Yeah, okay. First of all, thank you everyone, and thank you GSDC Council for hosting us today. So the topic for today is decision engine propensity prediction in the financial industry based on the customer data features. This is also a paper which was presented and written by myself and Gokul, and this is what we are going to present today. And this is our bio, which Preetham has already introduced us, so I'll be just skipping over that. This is the agenda that we would be like going through right from the abstract to introduction, explaining about the importance of data and AI on the financial strategy, then to the data-driven decision making in finance, predictive analytics and big data, and we have also the proposed methodology, the research exposure and the key challenges that we faced during our study and research. So, to start with, let me just go over some key concepts. Majority of us here know these jargons and the term on a very high level, but just to go through. So, starting with AI and ML. So, AI, it refers to the broader concept of machine performing tasks that would typically require human intelligence like reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. Whereas machine learning is a subset of AI, where algorithms learn from data and improve their performance over time without explicit programming. The second term here I would like to explain is LLMs, and this is in context with the financial sector. So LLMs such as ChatGPT, they are sophisticated AI models that understand, generate, and interact with uh, human languages, basically. And these can be used in the financial sector for automating customer service, improving communication, and processing unstructured data like contracts and reports. The next term is predictive analytics. So this is like the process of analyzing data to make predictions about future events. So in finance, predictive analytics can help forecast customer behavior, market trends, risk exposure, and much more. And when we talk about its impact on the financial sectors, the first one would be the enhanced customer experience. So, in that, one would be personalization. So, AI and ML algorithms enable hyper personalized customer experiences by analyzing individual preferences and behavior. And in the financial services, it can be tailored to meet unique customer needs, leading to higher satisfaction and loyalty. Second, I would say as a proactive service. So predictive analytics allows businesses to anticipate customer needs. So, for example, offering loans, investment opportunities, or insurance product before they are requested, while improving the engagement and reducing the churn. So when we talk about the business value and revenue generation, so what would be the impact, the business value of it? So one would be the operational efficiency. So automation of routine tasks, for example, loan approval, customer service. Through AI, it reduces the cost and it basically enhances the operational speed. The second would be the data driven decisions. So, in predictive models, they help financial institutions make informed decisions around risk management, portfolio optimizations, and customer targeting, improving their profitability. So these are some of the apps on a very high level, the abstract that I wanted to cover. So moving on. So giving a brief introduction and background, what would be the uh, I would say AI's impact on the financial sector and uh, competition to retain customers, as well as what are the strategic challenge. So, starting with the evolution of AI in finance. So, AI has been actively and actively and advancing like very quickly, especially. it is getting like integrated into our daily operation, and it is like no longer considered a future technology but an essential component uh, daily life that we have. And in the financial sector, to stay very competitive, it's very important to integrate it in all the step that we take. And its role spans from like improving customer service to enabling better financial decision making. So that is like an impact of AI on the financial sector. And when I have to talk about the competition to retain customers, so in today's fast-paced and competitive financial market, retaining customers is very crucial. And traditional methods of customer retention, I would say, is no longer the way. Like everyone is becoming creative in traditional method of customer, uh, I would say, retention. They are being contemplated, or even they are replaced by the AI driven approaches. And especially the financial organizations, they must create uh, an innovative customer experience. So if a bank is unable to provide any personalized or efficient service that customer expects, they will likely lose out to the competitors that can provide them with that kind of the customer experience that they are looking for. So, coming on the strategic challenges, so AI provides the tools to better understand the customer behavior and anticipate their needs. But this is like just no longer, I would say, just nice to have, but it is a necessity that requires for the survival in this marketplace. So, what is the importance of data and AI um, in the financial strategy? So, let's just talk about that for uh, on a very high level. So, the very first thing is about the propensity model, the AI driven customer centric strategies, and the third would be AI for CRM optimization. So, when we talk about building the propensity model, so what exactly it is? So, a propensity model is basically a predictive model that helps financial organization assess the likelihood of customers taking a specific action, like purchasing a product or defaulting on a loan. So the model is built on historical data that leverages machine learning algorithms to continuously improve its accuracy. If I have to give an example, banks can use propensity model to predict which customer are more likely to be interested in a new loan offer or a financial product based on their past behavior. So this allows them to target the right customers with right offer at the right time. And to talk about the customer centric marketing and segmentation, so AI powered propensity models, they can create detailed customer segment based on the behavior, the preferences, and the financial needs. So these insights actually drive the personalized marketing strategies that resonate with customers, increasing the likelihood of the conversions. So basically, by understanding customer needs more precisely, financial institutions, they can offer services that are not only relevant, but but also anticipate future needs. So thereby it increases the customer satisfaction and retention. Now, on the AI for CRM optimization, so feature selection basically here refers to identifying the most important factors in data that influence customer behaviors or outcomes. So let's just say AI automates this process, a process X, like reducing the manual errors and ensuring that the model focuses on the most impactful features. So this customer relation management, which is CRM, is powered by AI, which can offer like more personalized, seamless experience. I can give an example like AI can predict when a customer may need assistance with a service or a product before even they have requested it. So that kind of enhances the relationship and builds trust between the customer and, let's just say, the bank that is servicing those customers, or the financial institutions that are servicing those customers. So let's just briefly talk about the data-driven decision making in finance. So the very first would be the exponential growth of data. So financial institutions, they have like access to an enormous amount of data, like far more than any other industries, I would say, because these includes transaction history, customer profiles, market data, social media sentiments, and much more. And why actually this matter? Because the value of this data is immense, and when properly harnessed, the value of it through AI and ML, it can unlock significant business value. So these vast, I would say, ocean of data, that it can be used to understand customer needs in real time, predict the market shifts, and make the data driven decisions that offer a more accurate understanding of the market and the customers. So what would be the data as a game changer? Now, data driven decisions, like data allows bank and financial institutions to move away from like gut feeling decisions. We always say, okay, it is my gut feeling. But with this data driven approaches, it will not be a gut feeling anymore, but the decision making towards it would be more on an evidence based choices, not just the gut feeling. Like, um, for example, if a bank knows a customer has recently made several international transactions, AI can predict that the customer may soon need to do a currency exchange service, or be a good candidate for global travel credit card offerings. So these are like some of the insights that can be drawn, and banks and the financial institution can gain out of it. So next, it would be the use of predictive analytics. So where predictive analytics with AI can be used, I would say the first one would be the anomaly uh, detection. So usually by identifying unusual patterns or behavior. AI can help financial institutions and organizations spot potential issues such as frauds or errors in transactions. And for instance, if an anomaly is detected, like a large transaction from a new location, so the bank can actually flag it as a potential fraudulent and take immediate action. And on next would be like the predictive analytics. Banks can use AI to predict future trends and behaviors, like forecast customers' likelihood of uh, defaulting on a loan or anticipate their future spending patterns based on the historical data that is available. So these insights, they enable proactive customer support and better financial planning. And on a very high level, what would be the decision support system if we have to talk about it? So AI, it acts as the decision support system, or even we call it as DSS, that augments human decision making, making it faster and more accurate and even less risky. uh, Basically, it helps the financial professionals make better informed decisions based on the comprehensive data analysis. If I have to give an example on that, a bank's credit department could use a decision support system powered by AI to make a lending decision based on the wide range of factors, which includes historical transaction data, spending habits, and even the economic conditions taken into consideration. So, moving on. So, what would be the predictive analytics and big data? So, on a very high level, predictive analytics, it is the branch of data analytics that uses historical data, ML, AI, and statistical algorithms to predict anything which is going to happen in future, like future trends, behaviors. And this basically, this predictive power, I would say, allows organizations to make a proactive decisions. So what is the importance of it, I would say, uh, in the financial sector? Why is it so important? Like, as we have already spoken about it, but uh, for example, predictive analytics, it can be used to predict the customer behaviors, like we have spoken like few minutes ago, such as which customers are likely to default on a loans, or uh, seeing the patterns, like which customer is likely to switch to a competitor. So by predicting these behaviors in advance, the financial institutions, they can take steps basically to mitigate the risk, or I would say the risk behaviors, and also seize the opportunity which presents along with it. Um, and talking on the role of big data on a very high level, so how does it support the predictive models? So big data allows organizations to draw insights from massive amount of information that is available, Like, for example, banks can analyze millions of customer transaction along with other data such as social media activity or browsing behavior to anticipate what their customers would need and forecast the future demand. Just to, in the interest of time, uh, just touching upon the ML model like life cycle, what are the key components associated with it? So the key components of ML would be the data collection and preparation, model training, test and validation, along with deployment and continuous learning. So why these steps are, or I would say why these four steps are required, or why it matters. For the step one, data collection and preparation, high quality data is like very essential for making any accurate prediction. And if the data is incomplete or biased or noisy, the prediction model may give inaccurate results. Same thing for model training. uh, if I have to give an example of a fraud detection, so in fraud detection system, training a machine learning model, it involves feeding a huge amount of historical data and uh, highlighting the instances of fraud and teaching it how to identify the fraudulent transaction is would be the crux of it. So model training is a very important part of the machine learning model life cycle. Same goes for model testing and validation. If I have to give an example, or um, if I have to like talk more about it, so after the model is basically trained, it is usually tested on any of the new and unseen data. And this step actually ensures that the model is not overfitting and performing well on the training, like it's performing well basically. And we use some of the validation, the metrics, like example, we use accuracy, we use precision and recall uh, to assess the model's effectiveness. For example, now I have to say a credit scoring. So the model, it may be tested with data from new customers who have never like seen it before. Now the goal of this would be to see how accurately the model can predict the credit worthiness of these new customers based on what it has learned from the training data. And same goes for the deployment and continuous improvement. Why this step is so crucial? Because the real world conditions, they constantly change, and the model performing, that is like I would say performing well today, it may not be like performing that well or may not be that effective tomorrow. And regular retraining with new data helps the model stay relevant and accurate. So going on, what exactly is building automation and management system, which is BAMS, BAMS. So BAMS, it optimizes the building operations basically by uh, automating the tasks such as, I would say, lighting, heating, ventilating, on uh, tasks like that on the real time basis. But when I have to uh, talk about it, um, like how it supports the predictive uh, analytics. So uh, BAMs like can be enhanced by um, predicting. It is basically used to forecast the. If I have to take this example of a building where there is like heating, lighting, and ventilation, but if there is the future need, like how do I forecast that? So that is where I would be using BAMs, and it can forecast the future building needs by analyzing the historical data, like uh, occupancy trends, what was the temperature fluctuations, and time of the day usage patterns. And if I have to link this concept on the financial industry, so example of this in the financial services would be a bank manager with high foot traffic might use uh, predictive analytics to adjust uh, the lighting, the temperature automatically, like reducing the energy and cost during off hours, like ensuring the customer comfort during the peak times. And also, they can use the predictive models to forecast the maintenance schedule based on the usage pattern, and preventing breakdowns and improving, I would say, operational efficiency. This is like a very big topic, but just in an interest of time, let me just go to the next slide, which is big data as a game changer. We have already like spoken about it, how it supports predictive analytics, how big data can be used for uh, it can be used for data driven decision making, and even transforming the financial sectors. So I would not be touching upon this more, but handing over to Gokul to talk more about the methodology part of this entire research. Over to you, Gokul.
Thanks, Aparna. So just as a segue, like whatever was the last point from the previous slide, like transforming financial industries for big data. So like as the world goes into like different technological era of artificial intelligence, the base concepts continue to be the same. So on this slide, what we want to really show is artificial intelligence in isolation is not going to be successful. It is going to be driven by machine learning, which was a precursor to artificial intelligence, and machine learning is supported with like a big data concepts. So without the data being available, there is not going to be a successful and accurate machine learning, and without an accurate machine learning algorithms, artificial intelligence is not going to be successful. So the methodology which we want to like replay as part of this entire discussion is to have the base data ready, make sure the data aligns to the industry, whatever we want to serve, and build on top of the data so that the implementation is successful and it is more accurate. Without that, it's going to be a process where it's not going to be like successful. And few of the key points which I wanted to touch upon on this slide is cloud computing platform. We talk about cloud computing, hybrid computing, edge computing, but the computing platform is just going to be a support infrastructure which is needed for artificial intelligence to be successful. It's not that it is going to reduce the cost, it is going to replace some of the jobs. It's not directly proportional to that. It's more about how the infrastructure is going to be utilized in an optimized way and an efficient way so that artificial intelligence can be like successful and progressive. When we talk about artificial intelligence in multiple like applications, for example, financial services forecast or product forecast, Aparna already touched upon this. If we look at the financial organization, every uh, season there is going to be some kind of new product which is being rolled out. There is going to be some level of campaign which is being rolled out. The reason for that is to stay competitive in the market. So if a bank has to be like successful with how they do it, they will have to stay ahead of the competition. And for that, we always have to keep retraining the model, like build on top of whatever is the model output and the accuracy. If we deploy a model, for example, on Jan 1, and if we look at the accuracy on Jan 1st, it probably might be showing a different number compared to the same model being validated on March 1st. Because within a span of 2 months, there is a lot of data which is getting accumulated. There is a lot of customer who are getting added. So based on their experience, the accuracy would continue to change. And based on the number of campaigns which goes between Jan to Feb, it's going to change the customer base. So continuous retraining is really crucial to keep the model more accurate and more evolving to the current trend. And when I talk about like building environment, um, as Aparna already mentioned about like BAMs, like this is one of the other aspects, right? So if you look at a bank probably might be operating 1,000 branches globally, and the artificial intelligence can bring in some metrics which talks about which are all the branches which are efficient and what are all the branches which are not efficient, and that will give the organization a clear roadmap on which branches needs to be like closed or which branches needs to be relocated so that they can be more successful, because it also depends on the placement and the location of the branch which needs to be like really looked at, and that applies for like even the operational buildings. So if a bank is operating their back end offices in certain locations, it probably might not be like successful or like efficient. So the bank should start looking at opportunities to revisit those locations. Aparna, if we go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so like I'm not going to touch upon the data driven decision because this has been covered by Aparna. But key factor influencing the model outcomes, monetary impact. So when we talk about any financial organization, there is going to be credit card, there is going to be mortgage, there is going to be loan. So what AI could do for these kind of financial institutions, even this could apply and like extend to the insurance domain where there are like fraudulent claims. So just to keep it to the loan, if there is a loan which has been provided for a customer and the loan was not repaid the first time, then the amount of risk it adds to the financial organization can be calculated and it can be well monitored so that the bank or the financial institution is able to predict how much they are going to lose out of the loan than how much they are going to gain, because few of the loans are going to be like based on high interest rate, where even if the first couple of payments are done, they will be able to recover the initial principal whatever was loaned out. They might be losing out on the margin, but they will still recover the cost. But for a long term loan, if the loan is not well predicted, they could look at like multiple losses. So like AI can influence all of these decisions and can come up with metrics which can be more useful for the organization. Life cycle, I'm going to cover the life cycle at a later slide, so I will skip it for now. Aparna, next slide, please. Yeah, so industry specific use cases. If you look at insurance, because I have covered majority for bank insurance, so there are like multiple incidents which have been happening globally where there are like false claims which usually happens. And when I say false claim, there is a like there are like regions in the world where there are like drivers who try to create a false claim. When I say false claim, they try to like drive wrong, but they want to show that the other, like the driver drove wrong, and they try to claim benefit out of it. This is mostly happening and relevant where people don't own an insurance, so they want to make use of an unfair gain from others insurance. So there are like insurance claim which do happen in the auto industry, and the same happens with the uh, home insurance, where people get insurance for their home, and without a proper electricity, there is some kind of fire which happens, and they go and claim for insurance. So artificial intelligence can probably like come up, like once we have a very well trained model, artificial intelligence and machine learning can optimize the way the claims are being processed, and it can also predict whether it is a real true claim or a false claim. So this will allow the industries to optimize the way they pay out the claims. Challenges which are like most probably like impacting the accuracy. One of the main challenges is the data integration. So when I say data integration, couple of slides before, like we saw about all the computing platforms, all the various infrastructures. So if you look at data integration, the data is coming in from multiple applications, multiple third-party vendors, multiple like source systems. And the difficulty which a financial organization or any organization goes through is to get the data right in the first place, so that the model can be trained on a data which is more correct, and the integrity is not lost. Because if we have a duplicate data spread across multiple systems, and if we don't clean up that data, the accuracy of the model is not going to be like that great, because it is going to execute on a data set which is having multiple duplicate data. So it's going to cause more false alerts than positive alerts. And this applies even for transactional data, whatever Aparna touched previously. So in financial organization, there is more transactional data. And when we talk about transactional data, there should be a key identifier which allows the model to identify what is an actual unique record to a duplicate record. Unless that definition is being defined as part of the model execution, the model is not going to be accurate, because it's going to apply the model on multiple duplicate data. So balancing the business and customer outcome, just touching upon experience factor. So there was also a question on the chat which I probably want to bring up. So when we talk about experience factor, so there are like multiple data feeds which are coming in from the social media platforms. There are like multiple data feeds which are coming from internal financial organizations, applications. When I say applications, when we do a call to a customer care representative, all of our transcripts are being recorded, and all of the transcripts, all the test transcripts are something which provide supporting evidence for the model to be successful. So when I say this, all the personal information is removed from the conversation, and the conversation is sent out without the identifiers, so that the model can train based on whatever is the sentiment they have received, and can be fine-tuned to build better customer experience. And one of the common aspect of this is, if a customer is facing a login issue, and the login issue keeps repeating once every week, and from a financial organization we are able to see that the login keeps coming up every week or every other week, the bank has to invest some kind of money and knowledge and operational efficiency to show that they are able to recover from those login issues even before a customer experiences it. So AI and AI related models can be put as an agent on top of existing systems to continuously monitor one of the features which is failing frequently so that they can get it recovered even before a customer experiences it. Up on the next slide, please. Yeah, and the benefit of time, I'm going to skip this and I'm going to go to the next slide. Yeah. So if we look at this, the key challenges in predictive analytics, the data intake and consumption. So this closely, like this also, like the subsequent slide is also going to touch upon the life cycle, but just on this part, data intake and consumption, like this goes back to the source data and the third party data, which we continue to consume. So there are going to be multiple platforms which come picture, and unless like we have like all of these merged and integrated together, we will not be able to build a model which is like sustainable. So the model should be built based on whatever data is needed, and that data needs to be like it needs to be cleaned up and curated like with all factors which are needed for the model. So we cannot go back to a model which has been deployed and then change the entire core data set. So the core data set needs to be defined before the model is deployed so that the accuracy is going to be evolving rather than scrapping a model and then redeploying a new model altogether, because the amount and time which goes into building a model is pretty huge. It's not like overnight. It's going to be a pretty huge effort to build a model for a financial organization. So it's better to define the core data pretty early in the stage of model development rather than after deployment. And when we look at data privacy and governance, this is going to be one of the most important and challenging aspect, because with AI coming into the picture, the government is getting involved, the policy makers are getting involved, all of the important departments all over the country and global parties are getting involved, because there should not be a model which uh, like which gets deployed and creates a bias. So we should have a model which is not creating any bias or discrimination, and the model accuracy cannot be by overfitting or underfitting. And when I say overfitting, underfitting, for example, to identify a fraudulent transaction, out of billions of transactions which happens in a specific day, the financial organization only can see like close to 1,000 transactions which are fraudulent transactions. So the problem which the financial organization face is when they talk about fraudulent transaction, it is pretty difficult to get training data for it, because all the data what we have is mostly a accurate transaction which is expected than a false transaction or a fraudulent transaction. So there are going to be some synthetic methods which happens in a financial organization to build a fraudulent transaction just for the sake of training the model and building accuracy on the model. So this is like one of the important aspects. And when we talk about governance, the governing bodies within the bank or a financial organization should have an approval to see what data can be used and what data cannot be used, because again this should not create unfair decision making or like a biased decision making. And the best example for the governance aspect is the data compliance for credit card approvals. So we cannot have a credit card approval based on an age or based on a address, like that will create unbiased, like that will create a biased approach. So rather than that, those needs to be derived as a policy from the legal teams, and we have to align to the model should align to those policies. Scalability is more like the data is continuously increasing, and the amount of data which grows on a day-to-day basis is more. So the platform needs to be built in such a way or configured in such a way that it is sustainable. And this is now like more possible with the advancement in the cloud platforms, where we can have an auto scale up or auto scale down. And during the seasonal time, auto scale up will allow us to continue the sustainability of the applications without breaking it. And when it is off season time, the scale down option will allow us to optimize the usage, and it also will drive towards like some cost reduction. So scalability option is like automated to an extent where we can set up as a configuration and we can manage it. Up on the next slide, please. Yep. So this is the most important aspect when it comes to any AI implementation. So leadership and the adoption. So when we talk about leadership and adoption, not all organizations, irrespective of whether it is financial industry or insurance or automobile, not all leadership will have the same kind of vision at the same point in time. So there are going to be healthcare organizations who are going to go to AI like even more before, even like earlier than a financial organizations, because healthcare organizations, if they implement AI, they know that they will benefit out of it because of the amount of data they use for medical claims and for like customer experience. It becomes more easier for them to adapt to AI with the regulations which healthcare usually has. But when it comes to financial organizations, there is a real money involved. So when we talk about money involvement, the deployment or the implementation of AI is going to be delayed to a certain extent because they have to make sure all complaints are in check. We talk about like global sanctions. So if there is one country which is dealing money in a currency which has been sanctioned, so those implementation needs to be brought in as part of AI as well. So that's where the complication comes in when we talk about leadership adoption. So the leadership takes a wait and watch or a conservative approach in financial industry than going like this is not just for AI, this is for any new technology or next gen technology. The financial organization takes an conservative approach to test it fully before it gets like implemented. But there are other organizations and sectors where we can go day one. So there is a difference on how the leadership comes to this decision making. Again, that's an extension on the next point: challenges in model implementation and deployment. So the amount of data ambiguity which comes in, and the amount of continuous model retraining, like the amount of money which gets invested for continuous model optimization is more or huge. So usually when the financial organization deploys a model, it tries to keep in account on how much can be spent for a specific model and what is going to be the return on investment. Next slide, Pranav. Yeah. So this is going to be more of a life cycle for model deployment. I will keep this like little quick. So data source identification, as I mentioned, like the data core data identification is going to be like important for any model development and deployment. Exploratory data analysis is the place where we talk about like removing the duplicates, making sure the data is aligned to the model expectation. So models, when we build models, usually it looks for numbers. So even if there is a data which comes in as a string, like yes or no, or Boolean true or false, we impute some values to make sure the model is going to be aligned based on whatever is the numerical value. So if it is true or false, we make it one and zeros. Same for like yes or no, we will make it one or zero, so that the model can read the data, whatever is more relevant for the library which we use. Feature engineering and selection. This is going to be a key aspect for any model development. If there are like 200 attributes in a table, like not all 200 attributes gets used for the model. So only like a certain attributes gets used. So this is the place where we also talk about compliance and privacy. So if there is a discrimination based on age, discrimination based on gender, discrimination based on the location of the person, so we have to remove all those attributes as part of the feature engineering and selection. So there is going to be like correlation aspect where we try to correlate one attribute with another attribute so that we are not creating any bias. So feature engineering is one of the key steps which is like needed for any model development and training. And the next one is the actual model development and training. Once we have the exploratory data analysis and feature engineering done, we know what model data is going to be needing. And that is the model which we will run through a model development and training cycle. So we like this is the place where we talk about regression models. We talk about like XGBoost models, linear regression, all those models, like depending on the type of use case, the execution is decided and the model life cycle is being decided or defined. Next page, next slide, Aparna. Yeah, model evaluation and deployment. So this is another important aspect. So after the model has been trained, so we deploy the model, we evaluate the model accuracy. So this accuracy is just from a non-real-time data. When I say non-real-time data, this is not based on today's data. We would have trained the model based on the past accumulation of data. So all those behaviors comes into the picture when it comes to the model evaluation. And once we know that the model accuracy is acceptable, we run this through the actual deployment lifecycle where we deploy the model in production. We like when we talk about ongoing monitoring, so there is a concept in any organization where they deploy model, it is called the ongoing performance monitoring. So this is to monitor the performance of the model frequently. And when we say frequently, it's not daily, it's mostly like bi-weekly or a monthly or even like bi-monthly, to consider the like to have the accuracy tested and to understand if it is accurate or if it is performing as expected. Because when we deployed the model, it probably would have shown 80% accuracy, and when we run the model after 2 months, or the performance of the model, it probably could be like 60%. And the reason for it is because the amount of data which has got accumulated and the way the trend has changed. So if we notice that the accuracy has dropped considerably, then we have to retrain the model with additional data and change whatever parameters and configurations we have to do for the model. So whatever whatever me and Aparna we spoke about at this point, all of these are like our individual learnings and exposure. This has nothing to do with what we do on our current job. It's mostly to do with what we do as part of research. So when we tested this for transaction fraud and product upgrade. So these are the two things which we tested as part of whatever we explained at this point. And let's go to the next slide, Aparna. Yeah, so if we look at the testing, like this is the accuracy. I'm not going to spend too much time on the accuracy in the benefit of time, but whatever you see on the right side, that is the way your flow actually happens. Whatever we covered in the last two slides: identify the data source, prepare the data, train the model, validate the model and performance, deploy the model, perform like do ongoing performance maintenance, and whenever there is a need, then you do retraining. So that's why it's a discrete line. It's not like a jointed line, like it's like dotted line, because retraining is not always needed. Again, retraining involves cost. So you will have to make a conscious decision on whether you want to do a retraining or you don't have to do a retraining, because it involves heavy cost. You have to bring in more data. You have to train the model from the first. You have to check if the model is performing the way it has to perform. So all of these involves cost. So it needs to be a conscious decision which we make, because after you retrain the model, you have to go through the approval process to make sure you are not creating any bias. Then you have to redeploy the model. All of these involves cost. So it should be a decision which is like considered, not like rushed. Next slide. Yeah, so as part of like today's session, these were all the primary key takeaways, I would say. Like predictive analytics, data science, it's more of a evolution which continues to grow day by day, and we have to make ourselves well like adjusted and adaptable to the terminologies as well as to the concepts, because the terminologies might change but the concepts will still remain the same. So predictive analytics and data science model is an extension of whatever we used to call data analytics, and data analytics was or is something which we continuously have seen like for last like 20, 30 plus years, where we have had SQL. Even mainframe is similar, like we have data coming in, and it's not like artificial intelligence is just a new terminology built on existing concepts. So data driven decisions, like it could be like new product upgrades, customer retention, customer sentiment analysis, CRM. When Aparna mentioned about CRM, the other aspect which we have to talk through is customer relationship management. There are going to be platforms which provide you with CRM capabilities, and whenever there is some kind of conversation which happens between a customer and institution, the transcripts needs to be analyzed. It needs to be monitored to see like what sentiment the customer is providing. And if a customer is frustrated, if we run a campaign to them asking them to enroll for a new product, they are going to get like harsh at us because their sentiment is different. So we have to deal with the sentiment analysis based on whatever has been the customer conversations, and we have to drive decision based on that. It could even be changing the relationship manager. For instance, a customer probably would have called and might have raised concerns that they are not comfortable with one specific representative, and if we continue to assign the same representative for any future conversations, it's not going to be valuable. Exploratory data analysis and feature engineering, again, I cannot stress how important it is, because that's going to be driving how you build the model. So it's very important to uh, see that like the feature engineering and exploratory data analysis are done the right way. Future research directions, this is something which me and Aparna again are like we are trying to like expand on. Like our current paper, like we did like, I would say like a subset of what we wanted to achieve, but we are still working on like more and more analysis in the same space with all the public data which is available, so that like we don't go through any compliance issues. So we are trying to do it as a uh, learning for us. So we are trying to invest more time on it. Again, long-term impact, I like that's a statement by itself. Predictive analytics will be a game changer, leading to more agile, data-driven, customer-first strategies in financial sector. And this can be expanded to even like automobile sector, insurance sector. Like when we talk about full self-driving car, like the car by itself, if it is driving as expected, then there are no issues. But what if there are like some like isolation or odd man outs, right? So if the car is expected to drive straight and it takes a left turn, then it's a problem. So all of these are something which will continue to evolve and improve, and the accuracy is going to be something which will continue to evolve. With that said, like that was the last slide. So we will stay for another 5 minutes for any questions. Okay, so I have a question from Madhusudana Rao. Do you generally use synthetic data for training or real data? If you use real data, if any customer comes back and asks the organization to delete his or her data, can it be deleted? So when we talk about synthetic data or real data, it's more of a leadership choice. And most of the times, even if we use a real data, we don't use the personal information from it. So the customer will not be impacted even directly or indirectly, because of the reason that it's not identifiable. If there is a transaction which goes with the name Gokul Ram will not be part of that uh, training data. We will remove the account numbers, we will remove the customer information. So there are not going to be any personal identifiable information. Those will get masked, so that we are not having any issues with the real data getting used. For synthetic data, there are like very few use cases where synthetic data does come into the picture. Because like if we take again a seasonal thing, like for example, like for the propensity, like if we are looking at how we calculate a person spending on some shopping needs. So if we take the data from 2021 to 2022, there was like a pandemic where the lockdown was implemented. So if I want to do a analysis on how much people were spending in shopping mall, it's going to show us zero because we know the reason for it. So that's where like synthetic data comes into the picture, and the decision is driven by when the organization was established. So if the organization was established during that phase when the pandemic was there, then they are not going to have any history of data. So synthetic data is needed in that scenario. But if a bank has been running for more than 100 years, what we do is instead of going for a synthetic data, we will go like instead of 2 years of data, we will go for like 5 years of data, so that whatever data is not available during the time frame, we will be able to recover from the previous history. So I hope that answers the question. What are the criteria guidelines for evaluating or declaring that the model achieving percentage of accuracy? How the missing business rules are taken care when declaring the accuracy? Uh, Again, Aparna, do you want to go for that question or do you want me to cover it?
Mm, Actually, I'm not seeing the question. Sorry.
Okay, so Ajay, like if I talk about accuracy, this is more of a leadership decision again. It varies from product to product. When we talk about deposits in a financial organization deposits should should always have better accuracy because you are actually working on a data which is already available in the bank's control. So when I say available in bank's control, the customer is depositing 1,000 rupees or dollars in a day. The bank already knows that they have $1,000 or rupees for one specific customer. So it like the customer can only do like whatever is covered as part of those 1,000 rupees or dollars. And if there is something where they spend beyond that, that if the overdraft option is there, then they can support it with a overdraft option, draft option. Otherwise, it's not possible. But when it comes to loan, mortgage, and credit card, there are going to be some kind of outliers. When I say outliers, the customer probably would have been paying the credit card payments consistently for the last uh, few years or even few months, but all of a sudden they might have missed one payment. Does it go against the customer? Not really. They will try to give like multiple notifications, and if the customer has been a long time customer with the bank, even the relationship manager will try to give a call to see if everything is fine, because there are going to be outliers where someone might have forgotten unintentionally. So accuracy is calculated based on the type of product and the type of use case which we are dealing with. For one of the projects which I worked on, the accuracy was set to be 60%, and that was the leadership decision. They were not expecting, that was a first time model, and the leadership wanted to go with the low numbers so that they can show, or like if the accuracy is coming up well, then they can like probably retune their model for a better accuracy. So it is purely based on the type of use case and whatever is the scenario there. Hope that answered your question, Ajay. Yep, I think that is all we had as part of the questions at this point. Preetham, I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gokul Ram and Aparna, for a wonderful answer and for amazing session. And I must say, this is very informative one that we had so far. And I believe this is definitely going to be a very helpful for those individuals who has this finance background. So thank you so much for this amazing session again. And I would like to hear from the participants how they have finding this session so far. They can share their feedbacks over the chat box, also on the reviews.io. So dear participants, before we proceed with the further session, I would like to inform you that I do have some great announcement for all of you. So stay connected till the end. And dear speakers, before I take the handover back, we would love to hear final thoughts from both of you. So Aparna, you can start.
Yeah, the final thought, like this is certainly a very big topic that we were trying to squeeze in like 1 hour, like one session, but this has been like really, I would say, challenging as well as lot of learning and sharing, like what we have learned or what we are learning on daily basis with the larger audience over here. So thank you so much for giving us
Absolutely.
this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Aparna. Thank you so much. Indeed, it was a very informative, as I mentioned, and very vast session that we had today. And we look forward to have another session with both of you again in the future. So, yes, Gokul Ram, do you want to share any final thoughts with all the participants today?
Yeah, I think one thing I would probably say is don't look at it as a full-fledged session. Like this is just a starting point for all of you. You probably will have to look at this as a starter, and then you will have to start building on it. That's why like we added our paper information on this. So whatever we covered in like 5-6 pages, we have tried to cover that in 1 hour, which is like pretty short. And this is like this has multiple concepts added to it, like big data by itself, like we can talk about it for like 2-3 hours. So look at it as a starting point, and then I think you probably will be able to like expand on top of this to come up with your own use cases and scenarios which you can start solving.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gokul Ram. So, as we all know, this session is very important for all of you, and I believe you must be having other questions or later on for Aparna and Gokul Ram. Feel free to reach out to them. I've already shared this LinkedIn profile link in the chat box. I believe they are more than happy to help you all. So, reach out to them, or if you have any question for GSTC, feel free to share your question over social media tag GSTC. We'll make sure that we'll be getting back to you all. So thank you so much, Aparna and Gokulram, again for this wonderful session, and we look forward to have more collaborations with GSTC. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
So dear participants, as I mentioned that I do have some amazing announcement. So this is regarding the today's feature session we had on. Most of you already aware that I've been announcing this certification program that we do have for all of you. So if you're interested to opt out any of the certification, feel free to reach out to a learning advisor for more information and help, and you can use this promo code which is AI20 to get 20% discount on any of the certification. Sorry. So these certifications are globally recognized ones. You will be getting learning resources, which means you will be getting case studies to work on, e-learnings and book of knowledge that will be provided by GSDC. And these certifications are lifelong learnings, which gives you learning flexibility as well. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And you'll be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having opportunity to work on capstone project, which means that is something real-time AI simulation practice. So do grab this opportunity, do sign up yourself for this certification program. You'll find offer details, link and the promo code in the chat box. And moving forward to the another slide, this is regarding the utility tool. Many of you are already aware this tool free, and this is only for our webinar attendees. So grab this opportunity and do sign up yourself for this utility tool as well. I have already shared the utility link along with the promo code in the chat box. And I'm very happy to make this announcement. This week we have this incredible speaker lined up for ISO series that we are conducting right now in the GSDC. So join us from 2nd to 6th February with a time slot 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means it is already started. You can jump into that session if you want. I have already shared the registration link along with the WhatsApp link over the chat box. Just scroll up a little bit, you'll find all the links of this session. And this is another series that we are conducting right now on learning and development, reset, redefining skill strategy and business impact for the year ahead. We have incredible industry experts lined up for this as well. This is happening this week itself with the another time slot that is 9:30 a.m. Central, 11:30 p.m. Singapore, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time and 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll find the registration link for this as well in the chat box. And let's congratulate to our referral champions who have referred maximum people to our this specific series. So appreciate them for referring people to these sessions like this. So you'll be having this chance because we'll be announcing all the final winners at the end of this series. So top three winners will be featured on the GSTC Wall of Fame, like Leela, Saroj, and Doda. So you still have a time, as I mentioned, that we'll be announcing all the final winners at the end of this series. So we'll be getting back to all the winners for the rewards, which is worth $400. So grab this opportunity. Do refer maximum people to our session. It is something that you are taking step ahead and becoming thoughtful leader, right? So please do refer maximum people to our session. And if you want to connect with us over social media, feel free to scan this QR, connect with us over LinkedIn, check our website for more information regarding all the certifications that we offer and other offerings that GSTC has for all of you, and connect with us over the WhatsApp group to get daily update on event, bootcamps, webinars, and another link for the WhatsApp, which is WhatsApp community group, where you'll be able to see all the new launches on the certifications. And at last, I would love to request you all to please do share your valuable feedback on reviews.io and let us know how you're finding our sessions, and you can share any improvement idea if you want to. Thank you so much for joining today's session. And this one I would love to cover in case if you're looking for any speaker opportunity at GSDC. Feel free to reach out to us. We do have global platforms like Learning Capsule, Webinar, and Podcast. Reach out to me at pritam@gsdcouncil.org or pratibha@gsdcouncil.org. Send your speaker profile. We'll check all the criteria. In case if it's meets, we'll be definitely getting back to you for the speaker opportunity. And thank you so much for joining today's session. I hope to see you all for the upcoming sessions as well. Until then, keep learning and take care of yourself. Thank you so much, Aparna and Gokulram. We'll see you again. Thank you.